Hello, and welcome to those who show up after this is on and over with. Got Mr. Patton down there, the general, even though he doesn't want to be in charge. But I'm going to show a quick video clip and chat because the sound that came out of it didn't do very well. So, yeah, I left it in its protective case because I didn't want it to get germs too.
And I'm reading Wally World Trip.
Okay. Yes, Wally World Trip. So here we go, folks. But if you look closer, you can see there's blue lines on the floor. They actually did mark areas where people should stand, so they're 6 feet apart. I was impressed. There's tons of baked goods, though. Lots of fresh baked breads and donuts. And get over here to the peanut section, which is where Charles is now standing in the way. There wasn't very many peanuts. And as you can see, Charles is wearing gloves and mask, as was I. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of meat left. Everything that's on the shelf there at that end where she's at is high-priced, high-dollar steaks. I grabbed 4 rolls of hamburger. Oops, hit the camera. And she's trying to figure out, oh crap, what do I put on the shelf next? Peanut butter is about all gone, except for the nasty tasting stuff. There's plenty of bread. And right here, I stopped to read one of them. It says, please, for the assistance of other customers, limit your purchases. But it doesn't give a number. That was real nice. Just limit your purchase. Just don't fill your whole cart, I guess. And of course, I had to stop and get me a can of coffee because me without coffee is like talking to a gorilla with somebody pulling tape off his back. Not fun. And I will say, we did get a lot of dirty looks from people. As you can see, there's a lot of bare shelves over here. A lot of the Mexican type foods are gone, as in the pre-boxed meals and salsas and stuff. I did get Charles a bottle of ranch dressing, a big one because he likes to dip everything into ranch. And we got 5 people in here. Michael, Texan, hello. Exactly, Texan. Not a whole lot left. These people kept trying to stop in front of us. The lady there kept looking at us like we were the disease itself. I grabbed a couple of packages of instant mashed taters here. Charles said, grab them all. And I said, no, we need to leave some for other people. We don't need to hoard the food. And she turned around. You'll see it in just a second. She turns around and gives us a dirty look. It's like, I'm trying to be nice to everybody. Hey, Jake. Awesome. Maybe it's because I put the word special trip or something in the title. This is the canned meat. If you remember Gil saying, what was it, a week and a half ago, that there would be very little. There's still very little. I did manage to grab 2 cans of pulled pork, though. That's what we're going to have for dinner tonight, is a can of it. All your pre-boxed meals, the lunch type stuff is gone. A lot of the fresh or canned vegetables are empty. And over here is usually where the nuggets and stuff like that is. There is nothing in that freezer except shrimp.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day at Sam's Club. All the stuff was gone except for the garlic shrimp.
See, I love garlic shrimp, but I'm not paying $22 a bag for it.
Yeah.
This is the beef jerky and cracker area in my Walmart. Already went down it, and it didn't have much of anything left in it, Texan. I'll go buy maple syrup here in a minute. There was very little of that, too. I did have Charles grab a box of crackers. There is a lot of spices on the rack. We get over there in a minute because I had to get me some sugar, but guess what? The sugar's all gone, too. Good thing I have about 3 pounds left. I should make it to the end of the month. Let's see, this is the Easter egg aisle. Walk down here and you have no idea what you're going to get when you pick up a bag. Juices. Almost all the juices are gone, except the nasty smelling and tasting stuff. Good idea there, Ryder Dust, and welcome. Hey, Christy. And as you can see, most of the cereal was gone. I did manage to grab a box of Pop-Tarts for Charles so he can have his daily breakfast without driving me up the wall and insane. So sugar was gone. Most of the salt, a little bit of the flour and cornmeal were still on the shelf. We'll get there in just a minute. That lady was laughing at the customer behind us who kept grunting and every time I stopped. Hey, old man. As you can see, there's the spices. Lots of spices on the shelf. But if you look off to the left there, you can see there ain't a whole lot of anything except the really expensive stevia and stuff like that. No, I wasn't following her butt, guys. Come on, get your minds out of the gutter. Good grief. And now here, it took me a second here because I was actually thinking about picking up some, it's a different type of sugar.
Yeah.
It's kind of a brownish color.
Yeah. Is that salt on the bottom row there in front of you?
Some of it, yeah. Not all of it.
Yeah.
Down there at the very end, there's 3 different types of salt down there. There's the iodized, the non-iodized, and another type. But I have plenty of that. I have lots and lots of pink salt. And it's a good thing I didn't want any breakfast meats, because there is nothing. Even most of the snack foods that people buy for their kids are gone.
Yeah.
And I didn't go down the toilet paper aisle because guess what? None. But yeah, that's virtually empty. And what is on the shelf is extremely expensive, so it wasn't. Yeah. And the chips and drink aisle. Holy cow, there's lots of chips and drink. So Charles and I each grabbed a bag of chips, the cheap stuff. Hi, Lisa. This poor guy's going, gee, what should I get, man? There's such a selection.
I need more sugar for my butt.
Yeah, Charles had to have the biggest bag he could get for $1.12. And I got the smallest bag I could get. I got corn chips. Well, honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of fruit or salad over in the area where they keep that stuff. And as we get here, you notice the area where the eggs, cheese, and butter are usually kept in my Walmart. Not much anything.
Yeah.
There was no butter, absolutely no eggs, very little cheese. It is nice to be tall there, Ryder Dust. And I almost freaked out here. I mean, I only found one thing of creamer. And it wasn't my favorite type either. It would have been a disaster if I'd have gone there and there'd been absolutely no creamer. And in the freezer section, this is where most of the frozen vegetables are kept. There wasn't much anything except stuff I don't care for, like ground up cauliflower or rice cauliflower. I just don't care for it. Texture's different. I love cauliflower though. Over here where the yogurts and stuff are, also empty. The section there on the right is high priced stuff. That lay down cooler right there was empty. They did have some stuff, but I wasn't paying $10 for a box of pre-made pork patties. which is what Charles was asking for at that point. Dad, can we get these? Looked up the price. No, son. Little too expensive. Baby food aisles were, thankfully pretty well stocked. They hadn't been cleaned out. My Walmart takes a little bit of pride in their baby section. They got extra cameras on it to keep people from stealing stuff, and they're well monitored. As you can see here, these cases are empty, with the exception of some of that. I even stopped to see if I could find my favorite Chinese food, General Tso chicken, all gone. Even my Insta rice, gone. That was a little heartbroken right there. Basically, right at us, that's all I was doing, is finding some tidbits here and there, enough for me to carry home and call it good. I can get through to the end of the month with no worries. Well, I can go longer than that if I need to. Lots of ice cream here. The ice cream section was full. There was no frozen pizzas at all, completely empty. There was Charles's favorite Eggos, all gone. French toast, all gone. So he was a little sad.
I noticed the lady has something over her face too. She's holding up
Yeah.
a.
She walked by me at the beginning of the store, and she immediately reached out and grabbed a handkerchief. As you can see, now that she's walking away, both her hands are down. She's not protecting herself one bit.
Yeah.
But every time she come near me and Charles, boy, that thing went right to her face. Okay, I left the groceries and went over here to the sporting good aisles just to see if maybe that had been cleaned out. And guess what? All the freeze-dried food is gone, with the exception of a couple ice cream packages. And I'm not paying $5 for an ice cream bar.
Yeah.
But all those empty spots up there is where freeze-dried food usually sits. There's plenty of canning supplies there. If you are a canner, this store would keep you covered. Nice not be. And I decided to check what kind of weaponry is still left in the store. Guess what's missing? BB pistols, all of them. 90% of the slingshots are gone. Almost all the ammo for slingshots is gone. And there's a whole lot of pellet stuff down, pellet ammunition, but then there's pellet rifles, but no pellet pistols, no BB pistols, none of that stuff. And that's usually stocked full of slingshots and stuff like that.
Just a couple left. And I see it's empty behind them too.
Yep. Then I decided, well, let's see what's left in ammo. Oh, sorry. I looked at the knives first. Every single knife in there, full. Nobody's bought any knives. But this section used to be those two cabinets right there full of just pistol ammunition, no rifle ammunition, or all small caliber, 223 and down. The only thing left in there now, that first one there is all scopes. The second one now is pistol and small rifle ammo. There is no 9mm, no 38 special, no 357, no 45, no 40. All the main pistol calibers are gone. There is lots of 22. There's some 17 HMR. There was some 223, a little bit of 5.56, 308, 270, 243, stuff like that. Yeah, agreed, Ryder Dust. But I didn't show it very clearly, but just before I started looking here and unfortunately the sound didn't come out very well, but I was rattling off what was in the shelf. Next to it used to be 3 full shelving full of shotgun ammo. Now it's down to 2. And that's pretty much my trip through Walmart. It was pretty much naked. And this is where Charles and I decided to say goodbye. Move, kid. So yeah, we looked pretty scary walking around in black masks. I was going to get my balaclava and put that on too, but I thought that might be just going a little bit overboard. So folks, if you haven't been to a store lately, you may want to check it out, especially if you're in a state that's thinking about going to lockdown, because the minute people hear lockdown, they're going to go, and they're going to go empty your stores out, even though there's no reason to. the supply chains
Yeah.
are still moving.
Last week, when I was went to Sam's Club, it was, there was very little left in the freezer section, and all the chest freezers they had there in the store were gone. I checked online for search for the chest freezers for Sam's Club online. The two different sizes they have, the 7 cubic foot and the 5 cubic foot, out of stock in all the clubs, out of stock online. Yeah, people are bought up all the chest freezers and put them in their garage and bought up all the frozen food. But now when I went back this last time, they had the freezers everything all stocked again. They had signs up saying 1 item per customer.
Yeah, this Walmart's going to have to do that too, because they put Ohio down on lockdown at midnight last night, and I knew if I didn't go early enough today that I wouldn't get anything.
Yeah,
Walking up there would have been a pointless waste.
see if I can.
And you're right, Ryder Dust. There was absolutely no blue containers down there. Hey, Al. But and yes, the minute we got home, I made Charles strip, get into the tub, gave him a bath. I took a quick shower. Our clothes are currently in the washer and dryer. So yeah, we've followed full protocol. I'm still waiting for something to come in and got something to share there, Gil?
Yeah, an email I got from Walmart
Okay.
came in last night. Basically, to better support our customers ages 60 up, our stores will host a special shopping hour from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every Tuesday, today through April 28th. It'll start 1 hour before the store opens to the public. Pharmacies will be available during this time as well. Vision centers will also be open to help with emergency and essential needs only. More information, use the store finder to locate your store and number, blah, blah, near you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. So on Tuesdays, if you're 60 or over, they're opening an hour early just for those 60 and over.
Oh, if I'd have went in there in a full Tyvek suit, they probably would have asked me to leave. I did make a comment to the cashier because Charles and I have known her probably 7 years now. I told her, she says, you need to get a mask on. She says, well, I got gloves. I said, that ain't enough. Get a mask. I said, if you can't get any, get a hold of me later tonight after you get off work, and I'll give you one so you can wear tomorrow. I ain't got many left, but I would share with her just so she doesn't catch something.
Yeah.
Right. I'm actually gonna, as soon as I get my check, I'm ordering a high-powered UV light that is where the shoes will be parked at all times. Right now,
Yeah.
I disinfected them as best I can. They're kind of wet at the moment. They got to dry out before we go anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I did when I was at Walmart about 2 weeks ago. I picked up some of these little bottles, and they were 88 cents. I have one that's full of 90% alcohol, and so when I come back, it's spray my shoes down. When I start to get out of the truck, just spray them and let it sit for a minute before I step down, and then I step out and then I spray the inside of the truck.
Well, Texan, the one mask I had was a one-use mask. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that when I bought it that the filters were unchangeable. The other mask I have has interchangeable filters, and that one's in the wash without the filter, obviously. Filters were put into a bio bag, and the bio bag is sealed and stuffed. So yeah, it's finally starting to hit home to some people. Unfortunately, they're starting to realize, wow, this may actually be something.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed when I was at my Walmart last Thursday, when I went in there, I didn't go to the food area. I went over by the sporting goods and where they had all the silverware and all the bowls and all that stuff. There was nobody over there, like maybe 1 or 2 people. The sporting goods was still stocked pretty well. Grabbed a couple of boxes of 12 gauge with a number 3 shot in it. And they got a couple. They had those storage containers for big for cereal and stuff like that. I got a bunch of those because I picked up a bunch of flour at the local store here. They had 25 pound bags of flour for like $2.39 on a wholesale special they run, but they weren't advertising their wholesale special. But they were limiting 2 per person, so I got 2 25-pound bags of flour.
Hello, Lori. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. I already showed the little video clip of me walking through my Walmart.
Yeah.
Semi-depressing, but expected.
But,
and right enough, I'm going to make sure that next time I go, I can get audio. I affixed a GoPro style camera to a hat. Hopefully I'll just remember not to turn so fast when I'm trying to explain stuff.
Yeah.
But see, you just get one of those and find some way to put it on top of your suit and then stand in front of a mirror. You found
Lori found Lysol wipes today. Woohoo! Score.
Oh yeah, I didn't look at that, but that's also in the toilet paper and paper towel aisle. There was none of that stuff either. I didn't figure there was anything. So walking down it, when I looked, there was absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There was TP there, but it's the kind, if you go, you blow through the entire roll and it disintegrates when you look at it. Yeah, it's less than toilet paper. I don't think a snake could wipe its butt on it as it crawled over it without ripping it.
Yeah.
I'm good until April 3rd. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about hooking it to my hat, but after going through, because I kept it in its protective case, not actually to keep germs off it, but I just wanted it to be, the mount I had worked better with the protective case on it, and the video turned out okay, but there was absolutely no sound. Trying to talk through the mask and through the plastic case, it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. OMG, 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 what? The fact that your kids killed a squirrel? Oh, I wasn't.
Aliens?
The suspense is killing us, and so is the silence.
Yeah, Lori, what's OMG, OMG, OMG? Guess what?
Children.
I think she just lost her.
That may have been the squirrel that derailed her train. Oh, well, there you go. She gets to go playing with the pew-pew.
Yep. Yeah. Ta-da, ta-da.
Okay, let me see. For those who are not on Discord, give you a quick update. I did post on there something from the CNA YouTube channel. It is When is COVID the Most Infectious? And it's an actual infectious doctor who studies infectious disease going over. Yes, it's from Singapore, but it's not biased by our non-liberal media because they're just.
Yeah, I downloaded that one as well.
That's on the Discord server. And Fishes and Loaves have been talking to people in Palm Beach. Her husband works in a radiology, and out of 6 people scanned, 5 people have it in Palm Beach County. And they're doing chest x-ray scans, CT MRI scans and stuff like that. Well, not CT MRI, but CT scans and the regular x-rays. And they found 5 out of 6 people have it down in Palm Beach. And that's not being reported either.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, it could be far worse than we're being told right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not.
Mm.
But it's something that you need to be aware of so you can take precautions when you go outside. We don't need
Eh,
to see nobody else in our community sick.
Yeah. I did see an interesting video last night as well from China in Focus.
Mhm.
The title of the video is 21 million fewer cell phone users in China. And they went through and explained that for the last 5 years, during the last 2 months, there's been an increase in cell phone account purchases. Well, this last 2 months here, it's gone down 21 million.
No, they did caveat that with the statement saying that some of approximately 15 million of those are people who are immigrants, migrant workers, or unemployed.
Yeah.
And they're saying that there's a chance those 15 million just don't have any way to reload their phones,
Right.
which leaves the gap of 6 million people.
Yeah.
So
And that 6 million is what they believe is the actual number.
of boo-boo people.
Yeah. Out of 1.3 billion.
Mm-hmm. Lori, breathe. That was a dry cough. Oh no, not me. Yeah, it's not funny, I know.
Yeah.
But I do post things to the Discord server to help try and keep people up to date. I don't post a lot because, well, we don't have a lot there. But and I did post something up there from Gil yesterday too. So he semi posted something.
Basically, it's the ham radio license pool of questions for technician class.
So has anybody got any thoughts, comments, concerns? No cuss words, please.
Well,
but it was sobering to actually see a store because I remember during the gas crisis back in the 70s, and stores were actually cleaned out back then too. I remember my mom and dad taking us through the store, but it was nowhere near as bad as this. Well, Christy, there's a lot of things that have to occur at or near the same time. Usually, before you get the headache, you get a fever that is accompanied with headaches. Then you'll be coughing, dry cough. You'll be producing no phlegm at all. And then after that, you'll start experiencing very severe shortness of breath. Those are the three main symptoms that you will experience before you'll actually be tested positive. True. I fully understand that, Ryder Dust. I honestly think right now I wouldn't want to go get dental work done. Well, they're still testing that, Al, and I had to approve that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't see anything wrong with it. Honestly, Texan, to answer that would be putting my neck out on the line. So I'm going to, yes, whether Trump reopens the borders in 6 more days or not, it's going to be an issue. Okay, look at every other country that it's hit. Why would the U.S., even though we have one of the best health cares in the world and some of the best scientists in the world searching and testing drugs, why would we be any different? You know, we've already got 3 major hotspots. The U.S. looks like it's got a case of mumps and measles and chickenpox all at the same time. It's got red bumps everywhere. We're not going to end this in 6 days. We're not going to end this in 6 weeks. We may be able to flatten the curve and stretch it out, or they may fail completely, reopen the borders, and it spike I hope it doesn't do that.
Kind of like Italy did.
Yep.
I just noticed the comment from Uncle Al about malaria hasn't shown up in the
Well, what he's
StreamYard.
talking about is the chloroquine.
Yeah.
Now, a news report came out this morning, excuse me, about chloroquine. And Doc Bones made mention of this on one of our live streams. I don't remember exactly which one, about the fish stuff with chloroquine in it. It's chloroquine phosphate. Chloroquine phosphate in some doses can be toxic. And some people are probably allergic to it, making it even more toxic. Straight up chloroquine is a little bit less toxic, if I'm understanding the terminology, the Scientology correctly. And hydroxychloroquine is a less toxic, and the hydroxychloroquine is what they use for malaria drugs, but it's used in conjunction with a Z-Pak. That has been tested in, and if you guys remember back, I said something back at the end of January, beginning of February about that being tested in Australia with some positive results. And it's been tested in other countries, Europe, Singapore, and other places. Excuse me. What kind of tears me out. But it's been used with positive results. So that's what they're testing here in the US right now is the hydroxychloroquine along with a Z-Pak.
Hey, I guess comments that we got to approve won't show up in the StreamYard comments.
No, they don't.
But messages that are retracted still stay in the StreamYard comments.
I see that. I still see it, right or dust. You can't hide it forever.
Yeah, shoot, what was it? Well, I changed up my spreadsheet.
Okay.
So I have another column for a 2-week shift on it for trying to give a more accurate number count. And
Text me, be careful because the AI is dropping some comments and never showing them.
Yeah. We don't even have a chance to see them to, they're just totally going, nope, we don't want that one out there.
Yep.
And grapefruit
does have, there we go. But some people can't handle the acidity of grapefruit juice in their stomachs. I being one of them. My stomach will turn everything into a sour mash, and it comes out rather explosively. And we'll leave it at that. And you're right, Dust. If you have to have dental work, try to get your scheduled first thing in the morning, like the minute they open. Because as I've said all along, this stuff is airborne. Okay, let me get my hand in the right place there. I have to snake it through wires.
Yeah. So basically what I did here to change this up, folks, if the increase hits 10,000, it'll change yellow automatically. But I added this column over here, 2-week shift. And what that is, it takes, it takes this number here, and you go back 2 weeks, and it compares it to the number 2 weeks back, and then gives this one. Whereas this number here in the red column is just straight across. And right now, because the way that the way that things were reported in the beginning here, back here, I think it's also, if you're going to doing a 2-week shift, maybe artificially low, because people weren't being tested. People that had it were recovering aren't being counted as being recovered. People that may have died before everyone realized what it was, aren't being recorded. At the beginning there, we didn't have all the test kits out. Things was just running slow in the beginning. So as we move forward here, these, it's going to, I think these things are a little bit closer to accurate for what's being reported. But
we already got proof of that because from Fishes and Loaves stating that 5 out of 6 down there tested positive with the chest x-rays and CT scans, which is definitive. There's no arguing with it, and they're not reported yet. So that right there in itself is proof that numbers are not being properly reported, even here in the US. So we're going to have a misinformation problem. No matter how long this goes, there's going to be information that's not released to the general public. I mean, that's coming straight from a person working in the lab where they do the test, who has absolutely no reason to lie and is actually more afraid now for his own health and safety than he was before any of this hit down there. I do have a letter I want to read.
Okay.
There it is. Let me see if I can schnarmateer it. I can. That way you can read along. See how well it shows up.
Yeah, I can read it.
I'll make it a little bit bigger for everybody. The person's name was removed to protect their identity because they are in a very sensitive position, and I would rather not take the chance on them losing their position. But let me bring it up so I can read it because I can't read that small print. All right, this is from a person in the medical profession at a major hospital. Been struggling with this post for the last several days. I've been on the front lines of this pandemic in an emergency room, and over the past 3 days, what I have seen is very concerning. I've been a respiratory therapist for over 30 years, and I've never seen anything like it. I am certain just because we have no confirmed cases in our area that I'm aware of, I am almost positive it is already here. This virus moves so fast. Good grief, words are difficult. Especially for someone that is already compromised with some type of lung issues. I can't give out a lot of details due to HIPAA, but trust me when I tell you it's deadly. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but if you talk to anyone in healthcare workers, you will know that they are telling you the same thing. Hospitals all over are going into lockdown, which means no visitors, and we've already seen this on news reports. Everyone is wearing surgical masks. Hospital employees temp checks before, during, and after our shifts. Trust me, you're not going to like it, but it's for safety of everyone. With all that being said, please get on board with the CDC recommendations. Bullcrap. I'll follow my own. Wash vigorously, constantly. Thank you. Do not wait to start tomorrow or the next day. Start now. It's imperative. And the person used their name here, but this person and I have instructed our family, especially our parents, to stay home and go nowhere. If they need anything, we will get it for them. I encourage everyone to step up and take action to protect your family. This attacks all ages, but especially your parents, grandparents, or someone else's. I would much rather rave at them from a distance and talk to them via phone for however long we need to than to know I took a virus to them that put them in a situation in a hospital that is on lockdown and I can't see them at all, or worse. I could go on about this. If you need to be seen in an emergency, we will be glad to take care of you, but please be respectful of all the policies that put into place to not only protect you, but to protect all of the healthcare workers. And those policies do change daily. I know my local hospital has changed theirs twice in the last week. We've already been spit at and cussed at because of this, but we will continue to take care of our own family, or your family, I'm sorry, members. I did not write this to scare you. Mainly want everyone to take notice and do your own research and to take your own action now. Do not wait on someone to tell you what to do. If anyone needs help, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I forgot to cover her name. Oops, sorry. But that's from somebody who deals with their emergency room constantly.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of work, Ryder Dust. I'm sure, though, if you two wanted to collaborate, he'd probably give you a hand doing it. Because if you go to And it's easier for me to pull up because all I got to do is type the letter G and go. And I will share it as soon as it decides to pop up. And it will take a minute because it always does. This is the Johns Hopkins website. And if you want to figure out what's going on as far as numbers go, this is the, per county without typing in your local health department's information. This is the best way to figure out what counties have it because they've switched it back to, Gil said 2 days ago.
Yesterday, day before yesterday was evening was when I noticed they had changed it back.
Because about 2 days ago, they switched it back to
Counties.
what counties instead of just a state local.
Yeah. And they don't give state totals anymore.
Nope. You have to figure it out via going to each individual.
And add it up.
Nice purple dot. Ooh, that number's different. The Boot Hill number. The last time I looked at that, it was only 597. That was before I walked to Walmart.
Actually, that's the number I have off of Roy Lab when I before I showed that, updated it before I showed that spreadsheet. So that number is accurate right on. And the other one is only 5 behind. So the difference between the two sites right now is that the one you're showing has 5 less total cases.
As you can see, folks, the U.S. has a case of the red. It's not pretty.
And you notice they're not showing the recovered now. They dropped it out.
Yeah, I see that. But even one way out here in the middle of nowhere.
That's Bahamas. That's British Bahamas out there.
Bermuda.
Sorry, Bermuda. Yeah.
One little teeny red dot in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was 6 people on it.
That's bad. Because there's not that many people on that island in the first place. But as you can see, folks, population centers. Look, you see where all this gray is? That's where people don't live for the most part. It's hitting virtually every single city, every single county. It's time to, well, the easiest way to say it, you know what? It's time to, oops, what happened? Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, dang, I'm back.
I didn't want to scare him. But it's definitely time to take stock of what you got in your cupboards and start stretching. And it includes laundry soap. And it's only to keep you from having to go out.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, wearing that mask for an hour inside Walmart was not the most fun. I only have 3 N95s left. I only had 4 to start with. And unfortunately, you are correct. They are guilt shaming people.
Yeah.
Now, if I had a box of N95s and I thought they would help my local hospital, you better believe it. I know people that work up there. I just make a phone call and say, hey, come pick it up. But I don't have extras like that.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the borders were the report I got from the Fed was that the borders were closed and all people coming across would be returned to their native countries. That was the last thing I heard about our borders down south.
Yeah.
If anything has changed, I haven't heard it yet. My son is standing at the top of the stairs. Come here if you want to go say hi to everybody. Yeah, he stands at the top of the stairs thinking, Dad can't hear me. I'm not supposed to stand at the top of the stairs, but he can't hear me. He doesn't realize he's open air and I can hear everything. All right, everybody, say hello to the rat. The
Hey, Charles. Yeah.
All right, now go. I'll fix dinner in a little bit. No, it's almost dinner time. Hey, we're on a diet. We eat once a day. That's it. Go play. Hey, got to make it last. We do not know how long this is going to take. It could take another month and a half, which I don't see this peaking until at least the end of, let's see, so about the end of May. That's being realistic. That's just going by every other country that's experiencing this right now.
Yeah.
So end of May, it should peak, start coming down, and we should start feeling a little bit more comfortable about being able to go out. About that time, we should also see some sort of vaccination of some sort or therapy come out that is available to the public. Whether we can afford it or not is an entirely different comment, but it will be available about then. As far as those people who are claiming April 15th, it'll disappear. Well, if God wills it that way, then it's going to happen. But I'm not going to put my faith into a person who claims to be a prophet, claims to have or predicted things in the past. Because folks, remember, even Satan can appear as an angel of light, because at one time he was one. So he knows the whole game.
Yeah.
So I will put my faith in the good book itself, and I know what God's voice sounds like, and if he tells me, I'll listen. Most of the time. I am human, and sometimes I tune him out, not on purpose.
As my grandmother would say, sometimes you get stubborn.
Unfortunately, yes. He gave me a very analytical mind, and sometimes I try to overanalyze certain things.
All right.
But I didn't expect this to go for a whole long time. I see we're coming up on 50 minutes. So if we don't have any other questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to let Gil go back to his playing, and I'll have to go fix my Rugrat some food before he withers away and dies.
And just to remind everyone still in here, at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, which is in basically 5 hours and 12 minutes, we'll have Tactical Tuesday, and we'll be covering water filters, weight versus, portable, non-portable, weight versus cost, all the other fun stuff. So
ideas on how to make your own. Because right now that could actually become a very important thing.
Yeah. All righty. That's all I have.
I appreciate y'all joining me for this short, quick little live stream. Appreciate it. Y'all be safe. God bless.
See y'all later.